In this video, I'm going to introduce the reading from Equality and Efficiency, the Great Trade-Off by Okun, a macroeconomist, actually. And this is really one of my favorite economics books. And the part I'm having you read is just the first chapter. Although it's a relatively short book. I think it's about 5 chapters that are all the same length. And if you are going to actually write your final essay on inequality or a policy relating to inequality, like say universal basic income, or maybe potentially different types of taxes, say a tax on consumption, or larger taxes on bequests, something like that, then I might recommend that you actually read a little bit more in this book, because it's really a good one. But the part that I'm having you read today is the introduction to the book, and then also Okun goes through and talks about one way that societies have chosen to create more equality, which is through rights. Okay, and then he also covers the way that rights are sort of not as absolute as maybe we think that they are. Okay, so that's kind of the basic idea of the chapter, but just a couple of things that I really love about it. So one of them is that even though this chapter was written in 1975, except for a few dated references, I think it would be impossible to know that it wasn't written last year. And the reason why is because all sorts of policies that he mentions as sort of things that that maybe we should change about the way that society, our democratic society works. They're actually things that are proposals on the table now. So, for example, he talks quite a bit about something that he doesn't call it this, but it's basically universal basic income. And then he also mentions carbon taxes, and a few other things like that. So it's really a book that I think of as very forward thinking, and it says that we're still that the issues that he highlights about the scope of the marketplace, they're still issues that we're dealing with now, 25, basically almost like 45 years later. So it's a good one. Plus, you'll see he's a very witty writer. So when you read it, so I think what I want you to take out of it is just that, which is the way that that inequality is related to rights, and also why we might not want to have zero inequality. What use do we have for inequality? So I think I'm going to leave it there with that introduction. But this is quite a long reading. So I just reread what I assigned you. So I actually ended up making the other one, the reading by Derek Parfit. I made that one optional. So I will read that. If you do have the time, I do recommend you read it. But I understand if you don't. I won't make a quiz on it, and I'll make a little video about it, and I'll probably discuss it a little bit in class as well. So there you go.